Hello and welcome back to the FM Connection Content Creators Premier League Prediction Contest. My name is Anders and you can find me on YouTube and Twitter at AndersBazFM. And please remember to like this video and subscribe to the FM Connection for more fabulous content. And then after this video is done, head over to my channel as well and do exactly the same. Right, today we have got 5 more games to predict. And you'll be pleased to know that I have done my research this week and not relied on something else, a big spinny wheel or Football Manager, to do my own predictions. So the outsourcing is gone, the bad takes are back. So let's get straight on to match number 1, which is Arsenal against Manchester United. Now, neither side have been in particularly scintillating form recently in this battle for 4th place, but Arsenal showed something impressive against Chelsea midweek, which is something that you can't say for Man United in their outing against Liverpool. Both sides struggling defensively, I think it's fair to say. I think we're going to see a lot of goals here, but I'm going to go with a home victory. I'm going to go Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. Match number 2 is Leicester against Villa, a bit of a Midlands derby here. Leicester will be really feeling it after conceding a late goal, an incredibly late goal against Villa midweek. Against Everton midweek, but Villa, they're without a win in the last 4, so it's going to be tough for Villa to get anything from this game, despite Leicester's frailties at their back. This is another tie where both sides concede goals. I think there's going to be a bit of a minimum of 3 goals here. I'm going to put my neck out, though, and go with a Leicester 2, Villa 1 as the final score. Match number 3 is Manchester City against Watford. Now, this one should really be a bit of a gimme for City. They're at home. The last 2 games at home against Watford, back in 2019, they scored 14 unanswered goals. And I think they're going to need to do something similar to try and relieve the pressure from Liverpool, who are breathing down their neck. The title race is really heating up, so I think, as much as I think it'd be hilarious to see an upset, I don't think we will. I'm going to see another hatful of goals here. I'm going to go with Manchester City 3, Watford 0. Next up, we've got Norwich against Newcastle. Now, not too long ago, this would have been a relegation 6-pointer, but that's no longer the case, as Eddie Howe has literally dragged Newcastle from the brink of relegation to the brink of the top half. They're currently 11th going into this weekend, and I can't see Howe getting sacked, so therefore Norwich aren't winning. It'll probably be a lot closer than Newcastle fans are expecting or hoping, because Norwich really need to get something from this game, but ultimately I'm not sure they will. So I'm going to go Norwich 0, Newcastle 1. And then the final match of the weekend is Brentford against Spurs. Now, Brentford are on a really good run, and they're going to be looking to try and push into that top half finish. They're battling Newcastle and Brighton around for 10th place. But Spurs are still in the driving seat for 4th, and they're going to be looking to bounce back after their disappointing game against Brighton. Now, I think this one will be quite tough to score in. There's going to be very few goal-scoring opportunities, I reckon. So it's going to all come down to who is going to be able to make those chances count. And I'm going to sit on the fence. I don't think I can pick a winner. I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go Brighton 1, Spurs 1. And that is my 5 games this week. I hope you enjoyed my terrible takes, and we'll see who else can match them.
Hello, my name is Tony, FMDNA. The link for my channel will be in the description below, but these are my predictions for this week. We got Arsenal versus Man United, and I'm sorry to say, I think it's going to be a 2-0 Arsenal win. I think Man United are really poor, and Arsenal, I just feel it. I know this weekend's going to be terrible. When I say terrible, as a Spurs fan, I just feel it. Leicester and Villa, let's go for home win. Let's go for a 2-0 Leicester win. Man City versus Watford, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go 4-0. Norwich versus Newcastle, away win. Newcastle 2-0. Brentford versus Spurs. And this is the one. There's something about it. I don't feel right about this game. I've got this funny feeling it's going to be a draw. 2-2. I don't want to say a draw. I want to say 4-1 Spurs win, but I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I feel sick just saying it. They're my predictions. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week for some more predictions.
What is happening, guys? See you here, and here are my predictions for this weekend's games in the Premier League. First up, we have Arsenal versus Manchester United, and MANU are terrible. I mean, luckily enough, I'm recording this after I've watched a little bit of the Arsenal-Chelsea game, and I'm feeling pretty confident. I'm going to go Arsenal 2, Manchester United 1. Leicester versus Villa up next. Villa having a little bit of a torrid time at the moment, and Leicester are at home. I'm giving them the edge. Just the 1-0 though. I don't think anything too extravagant in that game. Manchester City versus Watford. at City's ground. It has to be a 3-0 win, City. Still in the title race. Watford are in the slums. I don't know how they did so well last weekend, but 3-0 City. Norwich at home to Newcastle. Norwich already relegated and have been since the start of the season, unfortunately. But it's lucky, though, because Fulham have come straight up, which means they can also occupy that place next year as well. It's brilliant. 2-0 Newcastle. There's just too much quality in that squad for them, really, isn't there? Brentford at home to Spurs. This one is tricky because I think Brentford have the opportunity to really upset Spurs, but Brentford are on the beach. So you never know what could happen. Spurs are a terrible, terrible side at the moment. I'm going to give them the win, though. 2-1. It's going to be very, very tight. But Brentford on the beach, Spurs wanting to really cement a place at the higher end of the table. That's the win, don't they? So there we go. My predictions for this weekend. I've kept it short. I'm proud of myself today. But there's no Leeds game. So FM Connection, get it sorted, please. See you next week, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Corky Blues, and these are my FM Connection predictions for the weekend. I've taken a bit of a leaf out of Anders Baz's book this week. I've outsourced my results. I've recently been playing first season with FC Richmond in Football Manager, so I've just pulled the results from that first season, and we'll see how many of these I get right. Probably not an awful lot of them. The first game up is Arsenal at home to Man United. Whilst the game has told me Arsenal are going to win 1-0, don't think Aubameyang is going to be the man to score the winner, but we'll go with Arsenal 1, Man United 0. Second game is Leicester 3, Aston Villa 0. Possibly a realistic result. Maybe not so much because both teams Leicester aren't playing as well as what the game predicts. Villa are playing better than what the game's predicted. But we'll go with that. Leicester 3, Aston Villa 0. The third game then, probably a more realistic result we have is Man City 3, Watford 1. Little dubious whether Watford will actually score, but we'll go with 3-1 to Man City. The fourth game then, again similarly, it might be more of a realistic result. We've got Norwich at home to Newcastle. The game has predicted Norwich won't score, Newcastle will win 2-0, so let's go with that. And the final game is certainly a result that I absolutely hope is wrong. It is Brentford 1, Spurs 0. Obviously, being a Spurs fan, that's not a result I hope for. But we will see what happens. Hopefully it's wrong. But those are my predictions for the weekend. We will see how we get on. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at Corky Blues, and I stream on Tuesday nights on twitch.tv/Corky Blues as well. That's all for me. Have a nice weekend and take care.
Hi, it's A-Bomb here, and it was a good week for me last week. 3 correct scores out of 5. I think I got more points than anyone else, which was good after our pretty dreadful start. Let's try and keep it going, shall we? So 5 more games to predict, starting off with Arsenal versus Manchester United. Going to be an interesting one to call this. Arsenal, big win at Chelsea on Wednesday. Man United, hopeless against Liverpool at Anfield. United have, as I'm recording this, just announced Erik ten Hag as their new manager for next season. But Emirates, Arsenal, probably going to get a win. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Arsenal. I don't think United are going to win again. Leicester versus Villa is going to be a bit of a close one to call. I think it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. Leicester, I think, are going to be very much focusing on Europe. They've got a semi-final against Roma the Thursday after. They played midweek. Aston Villa didn't. So I think a case can be made for both teams maybe getting the win. Leicester, because of the home field advantage. Villa have had a full week. I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go 1-1. Manchester City versus Watford sounds like a very one-sided game, doesn't it? And I think it will be. I don't think Watford will have much to offer at all. Man City won 4-0 against Brighton. And I think this will go the same. I'm going to go for another 4-0 win for Manchester City. Again, they're going to have Champions League football in the week afterwards against Real Madrid. But yeah, they've got to beat Watford, and I think they will quite heavily. Norwich versus Newcastle. Norwich, of course, trying to get as many points as they can to try and avoid that relegation zone, but they are sitting bottom on 21 points. Newcastle almost into the top half now. They've been very, very good this calendar year. Only Liverpool have more points than them. So I'm going to go for an away win for Newcastle United. That's going to be 2-1. And last but not least, the late kickoff on Saturday is Brentford versus Tottenham. You never know what you're going to get with Brighton. They beat Newcastle and Villa by 4 goals. And then early kickoff Saturday last week, they lost at home to Brighton. you just can't predict what Spurs are going to do. And Brentford have actually won their last 3 games. They beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They beat West Ham. They beat Watford away from home last week. Have I got a coin I can flip? I'm not going for a draw. I'm going to go for a win, but I want to flip a coin. I'm not going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a win either way, 2-1. But I'm going to flip a coin to see where it lands. If it's heads, 2-1 Brentford. If it's tails, 2-1 Spurs. You won't really be able to see this, but you're going to have to take my word for it. It's landed heads, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Brentford. So I've let fate decide that one, but the other ones, hopefully I've got them correct. We did well last time. Can we keep it going?
Hey guys, my predictions for the FM connection. Sorry I haven't been able to do the games the last few weeks on a video, so they've been put through manually. This is my week's predictions. So we are going for Arsenal versus Manchester United. That's the early kickoff. And we are going to go for... it's a tough game. Actually, they've just got a good result against Chelsea after 3 back-to-back defeats. And we got destroyed by Liverpool. But hopefully the announcement of Ten Hag boosts confidence, hopefully. So I'm going to be confident and go for a 2-1 win for us. I think, we've got something to prove, and they've got to prove themselves to Ten Hag now. He's been announced, so hopefully we can get the win. Very important game. If there's any chance of us getting top 4, that is the most important game left of the season. Then we play. Then it's Leicester versus Villa. I'm going to go for 2-1 win to Villa here. Leicester are an up and down team. They're not great at the moment. I think Villa will get the win there. Man City will thrash Watford. I'm going 3-0. Norwich versus Newcastle. I am going 3-1 to Newcastle. Newcastle are playing well at the moment. Norwich are basically relegated. Brentford versus Spurs. I'm going for Spurs to get a 3-1 win in that as well. So that's my predictions for the FM connection. Make sure you check out last week's podcast on the Road to Legend Football Chat Show with RD of Tactics and Dr. Benji. And this week we have the Mad Scientist and Hood Gaming. So make sure you check us out on the Road to Legend Football Chat Show with me and FMFO. You can also find me on FM Jono TV on all platforms. We'll see you soon. Also, if you're interested in joining Road to Legends team, you can apply now. We're looking for one more member to join us. Applications are on Twitter, and we will see you soon.
Hello everybody, Frankly FM84 here, back on the FM Connection, back for another week of the content creators' predictions, and we are going to be trying to predict some more Premier League action for this weekend. Let's jump right into it then. The first game on the list is Arsenal against Manchester United. Arsenal are a strange team. Every week I think that Arsenal are going to do really well, then they let me down, and then the following game, which I'm recording on a Wednesday night, they have just beaten Chelsea 4-2, which is completely out of the blue. Arsenal, strange one to call. Then we got Manchester United, got destroyed by Liverpool midweek. Can't say I was too disappointed about that. I don't think they can be as bad as they were on Tuesday night. 2 games in a row. Don't get me wrong, I don't think they're good at all. But I think they'll put up more of a fight. However, I still see Arsenal as being too strong in this game. I'm going to go for an Arsenal 2-1 victory. The next game then is Leicester against Aston Villa. Both of these teams are a little bit tricky to predict results for. Neither of them can kind of get any consistent run of form going. I thought that Newcastle would probably beat them. I know they did have a little bit of luck in the 95th minute to get over the line, but Leicester's Premier League games after Europa League games are going in that pattern. Villa, on the other hand, are up and down. Can't really gauge where they're at. I think Steven Gerrard next season, once he gets a full summer transfer window in place, could probably make a good go of the Villa job. But at this current time, I think it's a little bit of a struggle for him. However, I can see them getting a point out of this game. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, Leicester and Aston Villa. The next game is Manchester City against Watford. As I'm recording this, Manchester City have just beaten Brighton 3-0. Got 2 big slices of luck for the first 2 goals. I think Brighton put up a terrific fight in the first half. But that's kind of the pattern that I think is going to be happening for all of these games for the run-in. Manchester City will be hammering at the door and teams will try and just stifle them as much as they can, and then City probably will break the resistance down. I don't think Watford are any good at all. I can see this going one way. I think Manchester City are going to win at 4-0. The next game, Norwich against Newcastle, is another game which is really hard to call. So great job by FMDNA for picking the games this week. Norwich are a team that I think, wow, every time you seem to think they're dead and buried, they put in a performance against Manchester United where they were dead and buried and then came back from the dead, almost snatched a point before being put down once again. And then Newcastle, like I said, kind of predicted that they would beat Leicester last weekend, but not 100% convinced Newcastle are as good as they have been portrayed the past couple of months. Like, Eddie Howe's gone in, stabilised them, steadied the ship somewhat. Again, though, like I was saying about Steven Gerrard, probably needs just that little bit more time to work his magic, but it's working at the moment. I think Newcastle are going to win this game anyway. I think Newcastle are going to win 2-1 against Norwich. The last game then is Brentford against Spurs. This is a tricky one. Brentford are a team. I remember predicting a couple of weeks ago that Brentford turn up against the big teams and then normally get beaten by littler teams. So I predicted Chelsea would hammer them a couple of weeks ago. How I was wrong. And I'm going to back against Brentford again, but I do think Brentford are going to put up more of a fight in this kind of game. I think Tottenham are a bit too strong, even though they are patchy at best themselves. Every time again, you think they've turned the corner and they're going to go on and start to build a run together of games, but it doesn't happen. But I can see an entertaining game. I think it'll be an open one. I'm going to go with Tottenham to win 3-2. Right then, a quick run through of my predictions. So I've got Arsenal 2, Manchester United 1, Leicester 1, Aston Villa 1, Man City 4, Watford 0, Norwich 1, Newcastle 2, and Brentford 2, Tottenham 3. Right then, guys, let's get into the crunch end of the season. There were some fantastic scores in the league last week. Well done to those involved with that. We're just ambling along. But can we finally be pushing for the top of the table? There's only one way to find out. Check the rest of the predictions. I'm going to pass you on to the next person in a second. And then keep checking that league table because I'm pretty sure it's going to get tight at the top. Right then, good luck everybody. Let's pass you on to the next person and see how we get on this week.